Welcome to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content about childhood sexual abuse. I share my experience of going through childhood sexual abuse. I also share news stories on this channel to do with childhood sexual abuse and give my commentary and thoughts to them. And from time to time as well, I also interview other survivors and their supporters in hopes of raising awareness about how this childhood trauma affects lives. So if this is the type of content you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified of any new uploads. And if you like the content, please hit the thumbs up button. So I wasn't going to jump on here again this week and do another video, but I came across something on social media that actually made my blood boil. I was really angry when I saw this. Basically, it's about the rapper Jim Jones. Now, he was doing an interview with a lady called Angela Yee from the Breakfast Club, I think it is. And during the course of this conversation, this interview, she asked him about relationships and was talking about maybe his first kiss. And basically he said that his mother taught him how to kiss. When she delved a little bit deeper, he then discloses that his mother taught him how to kiss with tongues. And if you watch the video, and I'll leave both videos below in the description box, you can see Angela Yee's taken aback by what Jim Jones has just shared. And when I saw it, I felt a little bit taken aback and quite shocked that he could be so casual about what he shared. But then when I took a step back and thought about the victims and survivors that I support through Daughter Arise, my non-profit organisation that I've been running as a volunteer for 10 years, it really just stems from the fact of not knowing it was abuse. That's why he was able to talk about it so casually, because he didn't see anything wrong with it. And then I went and watched his mother's response to this video, because quite rightly, there has been huge outrage about what Jim Jones disclosed. So when I watched Mama Jones's video, she then admits that she did do it. She didn't deny it. She said that she did teach her son how to kiss as a young boy. She was a young mother herself. And the justification she gave for doing that is that she wanted to teach him how to deal with women and also how to survive as a young man. Both of those justifications are pathetic and disgusting. And her whole kind of demeanour during this interaction, as I said, I'm going to leave it below in the description box, is one of just being like nonchalant about it, being very casual about it. She doesn't see the big deal in what she did. And she says actually, well, it wasn't like it was mouth to mouth. It was, I took out my tongue, he took out his tongue, and I taught him. This is disgusting. And it is wrong. And it is child sexual abuse. Now, a lot of people might be mad at this, but this is child sexual abuse. The thing about it, back in the day, a lot of people didn't understand that certain behaviour that they have with their children constitutes as abuse. As time has gone on, the law has become very clear about what child sexual abuse is. A lot of organisations that have helped shape the legal framework for what is classed as sexual abuse under the law have made it quite clear, the definitions of all the different types of behaviour. And I'm going to insert a clip here so you can see for yourself what constitutes as child sexual abuse. Now, this situation with Jim Jones and his mother response actually opens the way for a bigger conversation, because believe it or not, there are a lot of parents out there that are doing these things with their children and not thinking anything of it. They're seeing it as, and I've heard it so many times, especially with my generation and above, that they're teaching their children how to navigate relationships. They're teaching their children about sex so they don't learn it from anybody else. My own father, when he was sexually abusing me at 10 years old, was telling me when he was sexually abusing me that he was doing this to me to not get me pregnant. Obviously, as a young child, I didn't know anything about sex. I didn't know anything about boundaries and healthy relationships. And I imagine that must have been the same for Jim Jones as well. A child cannot give permission for an adult to touch them sexually. That is why the law is there. Whether he stuck out his tongue or not for her to do that or whatever, and she took that as that was okay, it doesn't matter. The onus is on her as the adult, as the mother, as the one with parental responsibility to set proper boundaries with her child and not engage in behaviour like this. And as I said, it's part of a bigger problem, because in the black community, incest is seen as not a big deal. And particularly, I want to focus on mothers and their sons. There's a lot of mothers who are doing this thing with their sons. And then when they grow up, they manifest that in many different ways. A lot of them become quite hypersexual. The same way you have young ladies who grow up to be promiscuous because of going through childhood sexual abuse, and I have been there myself. You'll have the same with young men who are sexualized at a young age. And this is happening to so many young black men. Their mothers, their aunts, their sisters, inappropriately having sexual relationships with their sons, their nephews, their brothers. Mothers who are sexually interfering with their children, this is wrong behaviour. Whether you're kissing them on the mouth, putting your hands in their pants and trying to show them how to masturbate and all these different types of things, because these things are happening. Those who do it set their children on a very confusing path and open up a gateway in their life for lust and other dysfunctional relationship problems to arise. And we need to treat child sexual abuse against boys the same as we do against girls. There needs to be equal outrage, because no child should be going through child sexual abuse. We need to talk about incest in the black community. We need to talk about inappropriate sexual relationships in the black community. And I think we should be talking about this more, because whether it is a boy or a girl, it is sexual abuse. And the same way that we rally towards girls who have gone through this is the same way we should rally behind boys as well. This behaviour that Jim Jones' mum displayed to him, in my opinion, and by the definition of the law and what constitutes as child sexual abuse, is child sexual abuse. Whether it happened 15, 20, 30 years ago, it doesn't matter. As somebody that's gone through child sexual abuse myself at the hands of my father for 5 years from the age of 9 to 13, this type of thing does really upset me, and I'd be upset for anybody, regardless if it's a celebrity or somebody who's my neighbour. It's the same thing for me. No child should have to go through child sexual abuse. And I will leave links below in the description box for the 2 interviews, and also for the definition of what child sexual abuse is. So that is it for this video, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.